Recording. All right, we're live. CEO Wisdom Pods. We have Mehul with us. Cool guy. I've been talking with him the last 10 minutes. Mehul Sharma. He is the founder and CEO at Signum Hotels. This pod is brought to you by Podbuyer, which is my podcasting company. If you want to start or scale a podcast, get insights, great guests like Mehul, and even clients, grow your client base, you can hit me up on LinkedIn, Charles Cormier or podbuyer.com. Mehul, I'm really glad to have you on. I think this is going to be a short but fiery one. Really glad to talk about Signum Hotels. Can you introduce yourself and tell us about Signum?
Yeah, thank you so much, Charles, for reaching out. So Signum essentially is a Latin word. It means creating experiences. We believe in creating experiences across the globe. All our hotels, apartments in UK, in Middle East, in India, are balanced hotels, sustainable hotels. We do a lot of work for the local people. We help in uplifting the local people, creating local boutiques. That's the whole idea about Signum, creating balanced lives. Born hotelier, I started hotels in 2001, passed out from the best college in the country, which is called the Pusa. Went outside to study also, worked with the best Indian chains like the Taj, worked for Shangri-La, traveled across 70 odd countries. Was very fortunate to see the world from the customer and a traveler's perspective. When I reached a certain pinnacle, I thought it's best that I start on my own. Spent about a year thinking about the name. It really struck me when I was traveling from India to San Francisco en route to Brussels when the idea of Signum came in. We had about 200 names shortlisted. Signum is a word which means embossing and endorsing and creating a significant experiences. Hence, we got this name done. We started with about 12 hotels. Of course, that was just before COVID. And then, of course, COVID came. And then that is an opportunity we took to go against the tide of moving out of India and moving our base to US, to UK, to Middle East. And today we are probably the only Indian company which has, actually not an Indian company, we've got subsidiaries across in US, in Middle East and UK, which has its presence in UK, which is very strong with about 700 apartments, which we run, 24 apartments in Dubai, about 14 hotels in India, another 2,000 keys coming up across the globe in the next 1 year's time. So that's a little story about us. And this is what we do.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I love the quotes I'm seeing on your LinkedIn. You have some Martin Luther King in there. If you can fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Absolutely. Just love the quotes there.
I love this quote and I practice it on daily basis.
Yeah,
no matter what I have to, my competition is what I was yesterday. People ask me in certain interviews, whom do you compete with? My answer is very simple. I compete with what I was yesterday, and my aim is to be better than what I was yesterday. There is nothing else. There's nothing else. You just have to be better every day. And that's what inspires me. Martin Luther King, this quote is something which is engraved. It's in my office. I've got a nice, huge collage which talks about this. So I just love it. Love it.
I wish I would have got to know him. That's one of my top 10 humans that I would like to meet if we could revive people. Then you have, if you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way, Napoleon Hill. I also really love that one. In India, I was reading the other day, one of the top 10 most valuable private companies in the world is Oyo Hotels. What do you have to say about that?
Oyo is an aggregator. It's a hotel aggregator. So what they do is essentially, brilliant. I know the owner very well, Ritesh Agarwal, extremely successful, very sharp guy, 28-year-old. He's captured the globe. No doubt he's created wonderful. It's for us, it's a proud moment when we see him. He's across everywhere. He's in US, he's in UK, across. So we draw a lot of inspiration from him because at a young age of 21, he achieved what a lot of people could not achieve. So he's done well. He's growing places. His company is going to go public, and we wish him all the very best.
Yeah, good for him and super impressive. I believe he was under the Peter Thiel Fellowship, so he got paid literally to drop out of school because he was a little genius.
And then he got these funding from SoftBank, and then of course the rest is history. Yes.
Yeah, history is the word. your company, quite interesting. So how does one acquire 2000 keys? Like, is it just like, I'm going to manage your apartment, you're going to sign this contract and you give me the full rights, and then
Correct.
you list their
Correct.
property
Correct.
on
So
Airbnb and all
our
these
model is very
platforms?
simple, like a Marriott, like a Hilton. They don't own any assets. They run the assets under their brand name. So similarly for us, we are an asset-light company. Because we are hoteliers, our team is about 200 people across the 3 continents. A lot of our people work in Philippines also. So when we approach the owner, we come back with full strength in terms of backend sales, standard operating procedures, social media marketing, SEO, SMO, LinkedIn marketing, website marketing across, because a lot of standalone hotel owners do not have that bandwidth. That's where we come in at a very, very nominal fees and make the property profitable. We also assure profitability to the owners also. And should we not deliver profits, we're happy to pay from our side also. That's how much we believe in the fact that how successful we can run the hotels.
Right. I was quite bullish on that model with Airbnb and VRBO back in the day, so much so that in 2019, I was about to launch my Airbnb Boost business, in which I would manage property from a distance. The problem, though, like me being a virtual guy, I just love doing everything online, and I needed to have a property manager. So how is your model? Do you also list the property on multiple listing? And tell me about the property manager itself.
We list our hotels and properties on about 30-35 sites, but we run the entire operations also. We've got our own chefs. They work with our own recipes, menu planning, menu engineering. We've got our own standard operating procedures. We've got our own academy called the Signum Hotel Academy, in which we train people based on our brand standards and place them into our hotels. Our technology is our white label. We use our own channel manager. Our PMS is our own. Everything is inbuilt, ingrown, and given to the owners. That's what we do.
Love it.
So everything in the hotel, be it the linen count, the thread count, the GSM, the paper, the quality, everything is defined. Everything.
All right. So you still have these operating costs to buy the material, like that's part of the contract. And I guess that's
spent by the owner. All costs are spent by the owner based on the inputs which comes from our side.
Okay.
All operating expenses are owners.
I guess service departments and hotels are somewhat similar in that case, but tell us about the small differences between the two.
So service apartments essentially work when we have a long stay for about a couple of months, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. We've got kitchenettes, we've got services, full-fledged, 3-bedroom, essentially works very well in a place like Dubai when people come for about 2 months, stay there, do their bit of shopping. In London, it works very well because essentially it's a tourist city. We do 92% occupancy across in UK, especially in these months. Wimbledon was there. The India, West India, Australia final test was there. All our apartments were sold out completely. Dubai, 96% occupancy month on month, because Dubai is the hotspot when it comes to a tourism destination. Hotels is more compact. The length of stay is much more shorter. You've got a bar, you've got restaurants. The interaction levels with staff is much more higher in hotels than in service apartments. Service apartments is primarily aimed for a family of 8-10 people working on a certain budget, but for a very long period of time. So that's the essential difference between a hotel and the service apartments.
Right. And me, the fee that I wanted to charge back in days with Airbnb Boost was, I think it was 10 to 20%. Is that too much? Is that not enough?
You mean the fees?
Yeah, I would charge 10 to 20%.
About 12 to 15% of the top line.
Okay.
Yeah. We take off one-time sign-up fees, which is what we call as a brand loyalty, since we are lending our brand name, and 12 to 15% of the total income is taken by us. Remaining, the expenses are being paid off. Essentially, the owner ends up at about 30-35% operating margins. That's the operating profit which the owner gets.
And how do you maintain the brand across the board?
So we have very stringent quality audits. Each hotel has its own internal, each apartment has its own audits team. Their cameras installed. We have daily live feeds coming in. We've got mystery auditors checking in. Each inventory is checked. We've got a complete schedule of how the check-ins have to be done. It's checked. The entire team handling the bookings and central reservations is based in India. We've got a team of about 70 odd people handling reservations of all the hotels and apartments across the globe. So we monitor their calls, we check each guest, we pick up phones, we speak to our guests. Even if somebody's checking in London, we make calls. So that's the personal and the human interaction which we do with the guests on daily basis. It is mandatory for all the corporate office sitting in UK or in Middle East or in India to speak to the guests on daily basis. So it's a very robust system in terms of the online reputation management and how we do it in terms of the feedback system. Very, very robust system, and it's live. So any issue which comes into a guest, for example, he's unable to find a switch for a heater in London, instantly the software will tell us there are certain software, and he just has to put a request and we get it over here, and we tag the right person, and somebody calls and says, well, here, that's where the switch is, and you need to get it done. So everything is live, everything is there and then, because people are there for that moment, and we need to sort it out there and then itself.
So you have people on the spots as well, property manager that fix stuff up.
In UK, about a team of about 200 people. Dubai, about 30 odd people who are responsible for the entire cleaning, operations, maintenance issues, air conditioning not chilling enough, a service apartment, something is missing. We have people across these cities.
I'm guessing these are not full-time people, because that would be huge on payroll, especially in UK. So do you pay them per hour to fix problems?
Yes. Yeah, they're contractual. The people for cleaning and maintenance are contractual, but people who are responsible for the bookings and speaking to the clients are on actual roles.
Wow. So that's exciting. It seems that you have some kind of system. Like, is it truly scalable? Do you feel you're into something now?
Absolutely. So we add 2 hotels every month. Because our base is set. We've got a team of about 30 people handling telephone calls on daily basis. To make it profitable, you need to keep adding your top line. Because it's an asset-light model, you can add 200 keys every month, because their team is a solid system sitting here. All they need to do is increase their workload, and they come to an optimum level. So that's the business model.
I wish I would have officially started Airbnbs then. Last question for you, because we're already on time here. My challenge with Airbnbs, me, I'm a sales guy, so I found a way to pull out the list of specific homeowners. I had the address of everyone. I could pair these address with phone numbers when it came to Airbnbs and so forth. I had a list of all real estate investors across Quebec. How do you do your sales? Do you just scrape phone numbers off Google Maps and then call and ask for the manager? Because these guys are not on LinkedIn. So how do you do that?
I'll tell you what, the best way to get new client is word of mouth. We started out with 1, 2, and then we ensure that the work which we do is so good that the owner himself gives us references. It's all organic, and that's the best form of marketing, is word of mouth. Any owner, suppose you're an owner of 2 flats, and we're running your hotel, your apartment, and we're doing about 85% occupancy, no complaints. You are our strongest brand marketing tool. We don't have to do anything else. Charles will get us 10 apartments or 2 hotels, because you are the best marketing person for us. That's the strategy what we follow. Make people happy, make your team happy, and your team is your brand ambassador. Your customers become your brand ambassador.
Fully agree with that, because these folks know other folks that are investing into real estate.
Exactly.
They're always like micro communities. They're part of events of 5 to 7 cocktails and so forth. So yeah.
Otherwise, it's a cold call. It never works.
Yeah.
What works is when you're saying, oh, these guys are doing a brilliant job. You've got 4 apartments, give it to them.
Right.
That's it. That's
Fully
what
agree.
works for us.
Yeah. That was a lot of value in 17 minutes. Mehul, tell us, where can people find out more about you and Signum?
Our website, www.signumhotels.com. I'm available on LinkedIn as Mehul Sharma. And that's the only social media channel which I work on. And of course, I'm available at mehul@signumhotels.com. I also, through your YouTube, I want to reach out to potential hotel asset owners and people who want to get into this stream. I think it is the best industry which gives you to meet up with the best in the world. You travel in the best places, you eat the best food, you live the life of a king.
Wow.
And that's what hotel is all about.
Super inspired.
I don't feel any day I'm working, because I meet people like you. And that's the beauty about this business. And it pays me also. So simple as that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say the same about podcasting. If folks want to start their pod or scale one, podpire.com. I meet folks like you because of that from a distance. Hope we meet one day. Mehul,
Absolutely.
people can go see us at podpire.com. I'm Charles Cormier, your host, and that was Mehul. He is the CEO of Signum Hotels. Mehul Sharma, thank you so much.